Friends and viewers, Arabian Night. This is the collection of stories, and this book had no such author. It is anonymous. There are anonymous writers who had written this Arabian Night. It is a famous collection of stories, and all of which revolves around one main plot: a new wife named Scheherazade must tell her husband, King Shahryar, that a new story every night, lest he kill her in the morning, while some stories stand alone. Several of Shahrazade's stories contain a number of short tales which are told by characters in Shahrazade's stories. In this way, reader hear numerous stories told from various points of view, despite the fact that Shahrazad is the main storyteller in the text. Before Shahrazad's first story is shared, however, the Arabian Nights opens with two brothers, Shahryar and Scheherazade, who discover that their wives are unfaithful. They set out to find a man more unfortunate than they. When they do, they return to Shahryar's palace where he murdered his wife. He decides to marry a new woman each night and kill her in the morning as revenge on women, all of whom he now distrusts. Shahryar kills many until he marries his wazir's daughter Scheherazade. In an attempt to dissuade Scheherazade from marrying Shahryar, the wazir tells her the tale of the ox and the donkey and the tale of the merchant and his wife, two stories about miscalculation and penitent woman. The stories, they do not sway Scheherazade. However, her plan is to tell Shahryar a new story each night and leave him in suspense, which would cause him to spare her life while waiting for the next tale. Scheherazade begins with the story of the merchant and the demon, a cycle of tales that revolve around a merchant whom a demon threatens to kill. Three old men appear and bargain with the demon for 1/3 of the merchant's life. If they can tell a story, they will entertain the demon. The first two men tell stories of revenge and sorcery, of mistresses and jealous brothers, while readers do not hear the third main story. The demon spared the merchant's life. The next cycle of Shahrazade's tales revolve around a poor fisherman and a demon. The fisherman tells the demon the tale of a king Yunan and the sage Duban, and the tale of husband and the parrot. A character in the first of these tales tells the tale of king's son and the she-gowl, two stories about the revenge and trust. Shahrazad then returned to the fisherman and a mystery of four-colored fish. A king in the tale discovers a young man who tells the tale of the enchanted king about an unfaithful wife killed by a king in disguise. Eventually, the king rewards the fisherman by giving him one of his daughters to marry. The next group of stories begin with the tale of Porter and the three ladies, in which a porter accompanies a woman home to two sisters. They are joined by the caliph, his wazir, a servant, and three dervishes. The sister make the man promise not to question anything they see, and when they do, they must die. The sister will spare them, however, if each man tells his tale. What follows are the tales told by the dervish, which include details such as hidden subterranean rooms, plans of revenge, demons and captive sons. Embedded in the second dervish tale is the tale of envious and the invite, a story told by one of the captain's sons. In this tale, a demon spares a man's life but turns him into an ape. The third dervish talks about a man who accidentally kills someone. Sherzad then visits her sister Dinazad, and they exchange their own stories, including the tale of the first lady, the mistress of the house, and the tale of the second lady, the flogged one. In one story, the caliph from the tale of Porter and three ladies embark on another set of tales. The first, the story of the three apple, involve a murdered girl. A slave complicit in the crime tells the story of two wazirs and about two brothers who marry and have children on the same days. Their children grow up, eventually marry one another, separate from many years, then reunite. The tale is so entertaining, the slave who tells it is freed. Scheherazade next began a long series of tales centered around a hunchback who chokes on a fish bone. Four people take the blame as his body is passed from place to place: a Christian broker, a steward, a Jewish physician, and a tailor. Each has a story to tell. The tailor's tale leads to another series of stories told by a barber who will not stop talking, told to entertain a caliph at a bouquet. The barber tells tales about six brothers, each of whom has a physical deformity. In each case, the brother end up a destitute, beaten, maimed, banished, and or arrested and move in with the barber. The cycle of stories conclude when the barber, now old, pulls the fish bone from the hunchback throat and man revive. The Arabian Nights end with the three love stories: the story of Nurul Din al-Bakr and the slave girl Shamsul Nahar. A young man falls in love with a slave of a caliph. The lovers are befriended by a druggist and then by a jeweler. After tryst, robberies, and intermediaries, the lover both die from love sickness. In the second story, the story of slave girls Anis al-Jalis, Nuruddin al-Khakan, a slave, is promised to a king, but the kind wazir's son Nuruddin falls in love with her first. Nuruddin wastes his money and risks his lover to an evil wazir. Each causes the couple to flee. In a new land, the caliph befriends then appeal to the king to allow the couple to return. Again, the evil wazir makes trouble, but in an abrupt ending. Nuruddin kills the wazir instead, and everyone lives happily. In the third love story, the story of Julnar of the sea, a Persian king falls in love with a sea creature named Julanir, who bears him a son. The son Badr becomes king and wants to marry Jahura, the beautiful daughter of tyrannical king who will not give his daughter away. Badr is turned into a bird twice, goes to the city of the magician, meets Queen Lab, eventually returns to the human form and marries Jahura. They spend rest of their days happily. Arabian Nights ends with a postscript explaining the Scheherazade plans. She became queen to Shahryar, and to whom three sons. So this is the story of reform. Two wazir's daughter, Scheherazade, Dunyazadi and Scheherazade, who reformed her husband, that every woman are not unfaithful. So through all these 1001 nights tales, she tells her husband varieties of tales, and at the end, her husband started to come to believe that indeed every woman's are not unfaithful. And lastly and finally, he marries and spare her life and marriage and have a children from became a queen to Shahryar and born 3 sons. So this is the beautiful story, Arabian Night, the tales of 1001 Night. This is the collection of beautiful stories. I hope you will enjoy it in your leisure time. Thank you very much for patient listening.